Hello friends. Now we have to discuss points 4 and 5. First, second and third we have already done. That is benefits of reading and studying. Studies serve for delight, for ornament and for ability. Yes. Very famous sentence we should learn by heart. In fact, the whole essay we must learn by heart. That's what I said. Okay. Then we saw the second point, we saw that this wrong uses of study. Isn't it? Too much of anything is bad, we saw. Then how important is bounded in by experience. Theoretical knowledge should be bounded in by experience. Experience means support by experience. Don't just judge by rules alone. As A.G. Gardner, in his, one of his essays, he concludes his essay like this: spirit of the rule, not the letter of the law. Not the letter of the law, but spirit of the law. That's what you should take into consideration. That's what he says, bounded in by experience. All. So today we will deal with the 4 and 5. If there is time, we will also see the 6th point. So 4th point is attitude of different people towards reading. So he has given 3 kinds or types of people here. You can see crafty men, simple men and wise men. How do they look at study? How do they react to study? How do they imbibe? Imbibe means take in. Imbibe means how are you influenced by your studies? Imbibe means to drink, that's the meaning. Bibere, that's the Latin word, comes from the Latin word bibere. Bibere means to drink. Drink means to take inside. So how different people, say crafty men, simple men and wise men. For example, crafty men condemn studies. And the 7th sentence, what he explains this: read not to contradict and confute. So, what is meant by crafty men condemn studies? Crafty men condemn study means what they do is they read just for the sake of contradicting and confuting, means making other people confused. For example, I tell you, you read like this: love your neighbor as thyself. Everybody knows that. But crafty men, they will find subject for contradiction there and confusing others. Who is neighbor? Love your neighbor. By loving, what you will get? I know such people will say, I loved my neighbor, but what happened is that he has done such a lot of harm to me. So don't love your neighbor. See, this kind of. This is crafty and condemn studies. Or you say, heard melodies are sweet, those unheard are sweeter. Who told you heard melodies are sweet? I have heard many melodies, all nonsense, useless. And if these are useless, then how can you think that the unheard melodies will be sweeter? Say, nonsense. Who told you this kind of thing? They will say. There's no value, they will say. Or if you say a statement like this, to be or not to be, that is the question, whether it is noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous body. And to be or not to be. If you want, you take your action. Don't say like this. You are saying to be or not to be. What is the meaning of all this? It's a waste of time. So, in this way, and you read. So, crafty men condemn studies. Simple men admire them. In the sentence 7, it says, believe and take for granted. So, simple men, they believe and take for granted. They will think, everything is fine. So, read sentence 6 and sentence 7 like this, simultaneously. Crafty men, what do? They read to confute and contradict. What do simple men do? They believe and take for granted. See that? And then, what about the wise men? Wise, you are simple man. Oh, what a wonderful teaching is this. Love your neighbor as thyself. You can bring heaven on earth if you do like this. So that is what they do. But Then you see what happens, but says wise men use them. Wise men, they apply common sense also there. Love your neighbor as thyself. That's a good principle. But all the neighbors are not good. Some are good. It's like that. Or definition of neighbor is not that somebody who is living nearby you, not that. Or next door person, no. It is like the Good Samaritan, the person, that wounded man. So that is a needy person. Neighbor means a needy person. Need not be your spacious. It's not a next door person. Understand? Neighbor there means it has got a meaning like a person who is needy. So you help them if you have the means. So this is the way and consider. That's what it said. And the next seventh sentence they say, no, not to believe, read not to contradict and confute, not to believe and take for granted. Confute, contradict and confute, crafty men. Take for granted, believe, simple men. But what do they do? But you and some other people, there are some other people. So the third, crafty men, simple men, wise men. What do they do? What they apply their common sense. They see, yes, needy men means they are. So, and then he concludes the sentence like this. This is, that is the ability to weigh and consider. See, the ability to weigh that wisdom, apply your wisdom. That is something that is not found in books, but that is won by observation. You get it by observation. You get it by experience. You get it by teachings of great men. Understand? That is observation. So there are three kinds of people, he says. One, crafty men. They condemn and they condemn studies. And confute. They read not to contradict and confute. That is what crafty men do. Not to believe and take for granted. That's what simple men. When you say, life is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury signifying nothing. Oh, what a wonderful person. Simple man will say, really, this is a fact. Of course it is a fact. Oh, how beautifully Shakespeare has done like this. A crafty man will say, what is this? Who told you? Life is full of sound and fury. Life is full of pleasure. You can go to films, you can use WhatsApp. Does WhatsApp give you any pleasure? So you can go to bar and drink, you can go to film and see the films of Amitabh Bachchan. You can listen to the film songs sung by Lata Mangeshkar. Oh, wonderful, no? You can go for concert, you can go for swimming, playing. Who told you life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing and all this? They will say like that. But the wise man will say, it's some fact in it. Whatever you do, one day everything will come to an end. And all this greed and jealousy and envy and quarrels, what is it? What do you say? And I remember the wise man will say, the last part of the great epic Mahabharata, where Duryodhana, he stands like this and he's just wearing a very, like a short pants like thing. And then he is asking, what is the use of all these things? All my relatives, my friends, my cousins, my gurus, my pitamahas, all dead, say they are lying here. What is the use of this problem? So you read this, then you will be enlightened based on this energy. But then you weigh and consider. That's what the next sentence 7 ends like that. You weigh and consider. But this ability to weigh and consider, that means to see, look at the thing from different angles. That is to weigh and consider. Or take into consideration all the relevant facts to weigh him, like a judge, for example. A judge, when he listens to arguments of the defendants as well as the plaintiff. Suppose the arguments are presented for them on behalf of them by advocates. So the judge will listen to all these things. Finally, he will weigh and consider. That means take all aspects into consideration and then make his judgment. Understand? So you should be like that. A balanced mind. But he says that is not, you won't get this balanced mind in the books. No book will tell you how to balance your mind. Understand? That is something that you get by experience, by teachings of great men, by your own reflections. Sometimes you reflect. Yes, last time I helped a person, but he was not grateful to me. But there are many people I helped and they are all grateful to me. Or look at Mother Teresa, or look at the great, say, Vinoba Bhave or Mahatma Gandhi. So they are all people who help needy people. See. So the end result of helping needy people, you become a Mahatma, you become a great man. But not for me, becoming a great man, you should not help. That comes automatically. Automatically. Understand? Yes. So, how to use what you read, that is something, common sense. You won't get it one by observation. You can get it only experience of life, experience of other people, your family experience, your friends' experience, classroom experience, teachers, what they have told you, books that you have read. So it will take some time. You remember when you were in the third form, fourth form, whatever the teacher said, you will believe. Because they are simple. Your mind is tabula rasa. That means a blank board. There is nothing in the board, it will absorb everything. That's okay. And then that sixth sentence is explained very clearly in the seventh sentence. Read not to contradict and confute, not to believe and take for granted. That is simple men do. First is done by crafty men, but to find, and not for finding talk and discourse. That is another, there's other types of people. They just for the sake of gossip. So when they say, I have read the philosophy of Heidegger. Yes. That is, he might have read only the heading, the title of the book. Then he says, yes, what reading philosophy? Have you read Sartre, Camus, big names, Julia Kristeva, Edmund Husserl, or Paul Deman, Lacan? So that is for the sake of gossip. Don't do that also. They don't know anything, they have no idea about this, but they will just go around saying like that. Sometimes, when you were younger days, you remember, we used to play fun with others saying that, yesterday we went for a feeling, wow, what a wonderful picture, Amitabh Bachchan starring. And never know, we have just seen that board there, signboard there, in front of the theatre, that's all. So somehow we are creating gossip. Or take a point from the book, maybe 1 or 2 points you might remember, and then go on talking about it. See that, I read Charles Ram's essay the other day, and there I met the man in black. What a character he is. It is an example for inverted inferiority complex. Because he always say that he is a bad person and things like that, but at the same time he will do good things. So I know what kind of a nice man. In my life I also want to be like. So that is gossiping. So don't waste your time on that also, he says. So read not to contradict and confute like the crafty men, not believe and take for granted like the simple men. Don't use this just for gossip, but what should you do? Read, weigh and consider. That means like a judge, use your common sense. See what is in it. I think that is clear to you. So, Fourth point is attitude of different people. Fifth point is what are the goals of your reading? Why do you read? Is it for contradict and confute? Is it for believing as such? Is it for finding gossip? Or is it for weighing and consider? So weigh and consider, that's important. How practical is Bacon, isn't it? Yes. So now we will take up a sixth point. The sixth point is, you have seen, you have got many different, now the sixth and seventh sentences tell you about different kinds of people. Now, 8th and 9th sentence tell you different kinds of books. And what is your approach to different kinds of books? How to read books? Should you read the whole thing? Should you read only parts? Should you read, appoint a deputy to read and make summary? Secretaries do that. And if you do like that, what kind of books you should do? Summary reading? That is unimportant books, not important books. So, this is what. So 6 and 7 deals with different kinds of people and their attitude towards reading. And 8, and we have got 8 and 9 different kinds of books and how to read them. Understand? So how to approach different kinds of books. That's what he said. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. Weigh and consider. Chewed and digest. Chewing gum, you know. What do? You don't swallow it, but you keep it in your mouth. Eat something 1 hour, 1 hour. Some students sit in the class and eat chewing gum. See, it is really disturbing for other people. So chew and digest. So you keep it in your mouth for some time, that means in your mind, and then digest it. Means Abeyun studia in mores. That is the thing. That is, when you digest, what is written in the book will enter into your character. That is Abeyun studia in mores. So some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, some few to be chewed and digested. And he explains, that's the thing, something very strange about Bacon in this part of this essay. Because Francis Bacon does not bother much about explanation. There are 2 classic sentences in this essay. Study serve for delight, for ornament and for ability. Reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. He doesn't stop. He doesn't bother to explain. That is the real Bacon style. This is his later style. Explaining like a teacher, he says. Some books are to be tasted. What is tasted means? Sometimes you know, isn't it? If you have got 5 or 6 curries, then 1 or 2 you will and taste like that. That means just get an idea. What is it? So you find a book and you find wonderful lives of people in the world. You open, immediately you find names of all the criminals written there. Understand? Then what do? You close it. So that is tasting. Just go through the contents. That's all. Moment you see, or you find a book like this, is a deconstruction of the Yale School of Deconstruction. Paul Deman's essay, Resistance to Theory. You take it. Not for me. It's too tough. I have given 3 lectures, I am preparing 2 more lectures on that. That's another thing. It is very challenging also. Yeah, whether you can understand it or not, that is, I don't know. That's a different thing. Yes, leave it. That is a side remark. Okay, a taster means that. Or you can see, some people just go through the index and see. What is it? That is tasting. Others, to be swallowed. What is swallowed means? When you are swallowing something, without tasting you are putting inside. That is the learning by heart. for examinations, what you have to learn many things by heart. You have to quote quotation, you have to say. According to Wilson Knight, inverted commas, Shakespeare's plays, imagery and all those things. Yes. Or according to Caroline Spurgeon, women characters of Shakespeare, she says inverted commas. So that actually what you do is you are swallowing it. Or like nursery rhymes, see? 1 foot up and 1 foot down, that is the way to London town. At that time we don't know anything, we are swallowing it. So, without swallowing means without knowing the meaning. Sometimes it happens, certain foreign expressions you have to learn without, for example, sine qua non. We don't know what is the meaning, but you use it. Sine qua non. Sine qua non in English we say, means without which something cannot be done. Means indispensable. Very important, that's the meaning. Sine qua non. Is that? Or coup d'etat. That is, people pronounce it as coup d'etat. Some people. Those who know French, they say coup d'etat. Now what is coup d'etat? We don't know, but still you use it. Coup d'etat means by taking the power of government, a military coup, we can say. Military coup. And then what is coup? Coup means by force. See, taking, subverting a government by force and taking the power. That is coup means military coup. The military takes over the government. Maybe an elected government and so on. So that is coup. What I am trying to tell you, this swallow. Sometimes we have to swallow something without knowing the meaning. And some food to be chewed and digested. See, if you have got in the library 500 books in your library, that is small number, 100,000 books in your library. What you need is only 5 or 6. So that you have to find out, to chew and digest. Means you should read it, underline it. Don't underline the book as such, in the book as such, but you can write in your notebook page numbers and this and something like that. Yeah. And then read, meditate on it, chew and digest. Say, the Shakespeare's Hamlet says, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than that are dreamt of in your philosophy. To Horatio, Hamlet says. Horatio was his best friend. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than that are dreamt of in your philosophy. Horatio was a philosopher, and the dying Hamlet says, this is not what you think. There is no cause and effect in this world. See? Then he says, draw thy breath to tell my story in this harsh world. So that is the most touching scene in that play. See, more things. You are a philosopher maybe, but you know only. That's what it is. What do you know, when compared to what you don't know, is only a drop in the ocean. What do you know and what you don't know, you compare. Then what you know is only a drop in the ocean. So that is a deep philosophy. Dying Hamlet gives to Horatio, his friend. So you go back and think, yes, after all it is all like this. What do we know? That is chewing and digesting. And then your personality will become mellowed and matured. Digesting. That is explained. Some books are to be only read in part. I just told you. When I was doing my MA, I had no time. Means I was working also. I was working in a company and studying at night college we had. Then what I do when all my classmates, the day scholars, those who I know, I am also night college. And then those who are day scholars, what they go to library, sit there, read the whole book. What do I used to do? I would go to a library and then only underline the sentences I will read. Because I know It is because that's important, that's why somebody, at least for somebody it is important, so I will take down all the underlined sentences only. So that is, in another way, what do you say? Read only in parts, because I have no time. During the day I have to work. Yes. Others to be read, but not curiously. Newspaper, for example. Newspaper reading. You read newspaper, not very curious about it. Or not. If you are interested in politics, you may go through that. So sports, you may go through. Not very. You are not much concerned about it. Others to be read, but not curious. Some few to be read wholly, A to Z, and with diligence and attention. Diligence, very important. That is, with great care. Suppose you are reading Tradition and Individual Talent, T.S. Eliot's essay, Tradition and Individual Talent. Each and every word you have to read with diligence. The whole thing from sentence 1 to the last, concluding. Otherwise you will not understand anything. Attention. So 3 things he says. Read wholly, W-H-O-L-L-Y. Then next is with diligence. The third is with attention. That's it. Don't think of one thing and read this way. With great attention you have to read. Otherwise you will not understand anything. Many people have misunderstood that essay. After all, if you say, I have given about 3 lectures on T.S. Eliot's Tradition and Individual Talent. See that? So it's all about one word. If you say like that, it is a relationship of the text to past writers and present writers. Then I don't want, we will not enter into that. So this is, hope you understand. That means further he says, some books may be read by deputy and extract made of them by others. That's what almost all the students do. Guide. That is our deputy. The guide writer is our deputy. We have deputed him. He does not know we have deputed. But when you are buying the guide, you are paying for it. So some books are maybe read by deputy and extract notes made of them by others. Guiding. But you can summary, by reading summary of tradition and individual talent, you are not going to reach it. Understand? And that would only be less important events and important things. Non-detailed, yes. You have the detailed and non-detailed. So for non-detailed you can manage summary, but details is impossible. And the meaner sort of books, meaner, worthless, were not much value. As I told you, see, suppose you are a fiction, and see, say you are reading crime fiction. You can ask somebody to read and get the summary of that. So meaner also. Else says distilled books are like common distilled waters, flashy things. Flashy means nothing in it. Because your deputy may be a person, he may be intelligent person, but he may not give any attention to it. He will say, oh, I am making this for me. So they are flashy things. Means there is nothing in it. Flashy, empty. There is nothing in it. Now substance. The notes distilled book is like it has like distilled waters and no substance in it. Maybe those days, I don't know, 16th century, now we say distilled water is pure water. But those days it may not be like that. How they used to distill water, we don't know. Anyway, the meaning is this, they are flashy things. Serious books, serious things, etc. you should understand. If you are, suppose you are an officer and your subordinate is making notes on a file. If it is an unimportant file, it doesn't matter. Say, for example, there is a file, how many people are using, or I can say like this, how much plastic is sprinkled in a particular area. You are writing a file on that. If it is, say, 100 pieces, if it becomes 80 pieces or 50 pieces, it doesn't matter. Or 150, no matter. Suppose you are in a law and order situation and there is some problem and then you have to make a decision, you are not going to ask your deputy to make a note on that, but you yourself will study the entire thing and then you have to come to a conclusion. Otherwise, it will have tremendous effects afterwards. So, unimportant things, you can ask your deputy to read and make, but not important things. I think it is clear now. Today we have done sentence 6, 7, 8 and 9. So 6 and 7 already we have seen different people and their attitude. 8 and 9, that is different kinds of books and how to approach them. So it is serious books you have to do. So some you can taste, some you can swallow without knowing also. So that is, I think it is clear to you, no need of my repeating it again. Okay? So 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we have 10 more sentences, that is 19 sentences. We will be able to do it in 2 or 3 days. I hope you are following and you are enjoying my classes. Right? Yes. Okay. Then we will see again. Bye.